comes to our finances, our work, our family life, and kind of trying to find that balance, right? That's still going to be recognized in the body as stress, right? Our training regimen, so we're working out, we're putting physical stress on our body, right? So when we add physical stress, that's adding to that stress bucket, right? And then also just the mental stress of trying to figure out, the exact plan that we need to do and, how many workouts each week. And, so when we really think about it, our bodies are already under a lot of stress, including environmental stress, right? Things that are a little bit out of our control, the pollution in our environment, maybe the food and the things that go into it. So all of these things, although we may not look at them as individual stressors on their own, they are still stressors that affect our body. Today I'm going to talk about deload weeks and why they're important to implement into your training. So one of the biggest mistakes that we see in most people's fitness journey is this all-in, hard-nosed, to-the-wall mentality, meaning it's all about pushing harder. It's all about adding more. It's about adding more weights. It's about adding more volume. It's about doing more time. It's about doing more reps. And so many times we focus on the more, and we don't focus on less. Right? And today, let's talk about why that's important. Right? When we're training, we're increasing stress into the body. And if we think about a bucket, right? If we can imagine a bucket and think about water, right? We're pouring some water in there, right? So imagine you have a bucket that is half full of water, right? And maybe we add some more water to it. We start to see that water go up. We add a little bit more water to it. We start to see that water level rise almost until we have this much left, just about a couple inches left. And then we fill that up. And then we start to notice that that bucket overfills onto the ground next to it. Right? So the bucket is an analogy. The bucket is an analogy of our stress, right? Our body can only handle so much stress before it starts to break down. So right now, when we're feeling, rested or we're just getting started, we maybe have 50% capacity, but as we start to train and go through a training program, we start to increase the stress on our body, right? And our body cannot recognize the difference between psychological stresses that we deal with on a regular day basis, when it comes to our finances, our work, our family life, and kind of trying to find that balance, right? That's still going to be recognized in the body as stress, right? Our training regimen, so we're working out, we're putting physical stress on our body, right? So when we add physical stress, that's adding to that stress bucket, right? And then also just the mental stress of trying to figure out, the exact plan that we need to do and, how many workouts each week. And, so when we really think about it, our bodies are already under a lot of stress, including environmental stress, right? Things that are a little bit out of our control, the pollution in our environment, maybe the food and the things that go into it. So all of these things, although we may not look at them as individual stressors on their own, they are still stressors that affect our body, affect our workouts, and affect our recovery. So a typical person that's working out already has a lot of stress, and as we start to add more in through the week in our workouts or maybe through the month, you might start to get to that capacity limit where that water might start to overfill in your bucket. So what we like to do in our gym is, really focus on 4-week cycles, 4 to 6 week cycles where we're training and we're building up. So that first week is an intro week, right? And then we build up a little bit more in the next week by maybe adding a round, maybe adding a set to each of the exercises that we're doing. And then that next round, maybe we add some load. So week 3, we add a little bit more weight to the exercises. And in week 4, well, that's when we're trying to maybe get the most out of those exercises, maxing out. Maybe we're changing our tempos and making it feel harder, right? That 4th week or that 5th week, just to get that stress response in our workout. But then it's important that after that we deload, right? So if you're in that 4th or your 5th week, well, we need to break. We need to take a week where we do less intensity, less volume, less work, and we give our body some rest, maybe increase our calories a little bit and focus on our nutrition, right? When we do that, we give ourselves adequate recovery and we set ourselves up for the next training phase. And when we do it that way, we're going to continuously see results over a period of time. The problem that we run into is that if people just maybe go 8 weeks hard or 12 weeks hard or 16 weeks hard and they don't take a break, well, you might have seen results over the period of time that are really, really good. but they're not going to be sustainable, because when you burn out and you can't do anything, well, the person that was doing 2-3 days a week for 16 weeks consistently versus the person that was able to only do, 4 or 5 days a week for 12 weeks consistently before falling off and doing none, well, that person that's doing the 2 or 3 days a week is going to always win. And they're not going to have to deal with a lot of the complications that the other person might have dealt with. Meaning, there's a lot of, when people go on a fast diet, or maybe they're training really hard, they underestimate the effects that this is going to have on your hormonal health. They underestimate the effects this is going to have on your metabolism, maybe your body's ability to build muscle or to sustain the muscle that you already have. So a lot of times we put added stress on our bodies only to break our bodies. So today I want to remind you that if you're training and you're going really, really hard all the time, back off for at least a week. Maybe deload, do some other activities, slow down, give yourself less intensity, less volume. Do that for a week or 2 weeks, and then go back into your training, and I guarantee you, you're going to see much better results. You're going to see much better PRs in the future, and your body's not going to break down as easily as it once maybe did in the past. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do all the amazing stuff, like this thing, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this, where I'm breaking down different training techniques that can help change your game in the weight room, but also take your fitness hopefully to that next level that you're trying to get to. I'll see you on the next video.